Hey everyone, so what we have here today is more absurdity pertaining to marijuana from Colorado's governor vetoing an attempt to allow marijuana users the option to try different types and strains of marijuana in a tasting room, much like vineyards and breweries have, although in this case it might be more appropriate to call them inhaling rooms, but I digress. So what is Colorado's Democratic Governor John Hickenlooper's rationale for denying people the right to have these tasting rooms? He claims it's a matter of marijuana being consumed openly or publicly, or in a manner that endangers others. So first off, they would be in a tasting room. It's sad that I have to explain this, but the word room means that at least 3 or 4 walls and 1 ceiling will be surrounding you. That means the marijuana use will be concealed in a way which is the opposite of being open. Here, you can look. I went to thesaurus.com and put the word open in there, and the 4th antonym on the list is concealed. So what on earth is this politician talking about? Next is the word publicly. How is smoking on a private establishment in a room doing anything publicly? If you go into an adult video store, are you checking out adult videos publicly? Or even let's say you're drinking alcohol on the outdoor patio of a restaurant. Is that public drinking? Not in the eyes of the law. They're actually reasonable when it comes to that. So how is smoking marijuana in a confined room in a private marijuana business doing anything publicly? It's too bad Governor Hickenlooper will never see this video because I would love an answer to that. Also, as far as marijuana being consumed in a manner that endangers others, how out of touch with reality can one actually get? Here is a small excerpt from the DEA itself saying that no deaths from overdose of marijuana have ever been reported. Do you know what drug has more deaths than marijuana? Alcohol. Here is something from the CDC claiming that there were 33,171 deaths from alcohol in 2015. Yet I do not hear anything from any politicians wanting to ban drinking alcohol on the patios of restaurants in the concern that it may endanger someone, or wine and whiskey sampling in the middle of the aisle in liquor stores. Nor do I hear anything from this governor about wanting to curb the rights of the consumer who may want to test beer out at a brewery. I wonder why that is. Perhaps it's because he co-founded the Wynkoop Brewing Company, a brewery in Denver, Colorado. Can we talk about the hypocrisy here? I want to remind him and everyone else about one often forgotten fact. Alcohol is a drug, and as I mentioned, with the 30,000 some odd deaths, a pretty potent drug at that. So dare I say it, Governor John Hickenlooper was once the manufacturer of one of the most dangerous drugs that exists in America today, and he sold it to people so they could become intoxicated off that substance so he could profit from it. So who the hell is he to take any sort of moral high ground and tell us what endangers people? And for that matter, any other politician that has a midday beer with lunch, who are these people to lay decrees down on hundreds of millions of people about what they can and cannot do with their own body? And by the way, I've been around marijuana an uncountable number of times in my life. I have never seen anyone endangered by marijuana, before, during, or after its use. I am not a marijuana smoker, so I was often the person just kind of hanging around, and I never felt threatened in the least by marijuana smoking. I can absolutely not say the same thing for alcohol. People, like clockwork, will become irrational, emotional, unable to control their impulses, violent and aggressive. And this is the drug that John Hickenlooper manufactured and sold for recreational use. So again, I ask, who the hell is he to forbid anyone from using marijuana in any scenario? All right. Obviously, I think both alcohol and marijuana should be allowed. I'm just trying to make a point. And I really don't take issue with Hickenlooper running a brewery. I think it's fantastic. I like beer. But if I may point out, everything I've said in this video is confined to the muck and mire of the language and thought processes that politicians use. How about we use the thought process involved in rational, logical, and dare I say it, liberty-minded thinking? You have the right to do whatever the hell you want to do with your own body, even if it is slowly destroying you from the inside out. It may be a tragic decision on your part, but it is your decision to make. And obviously I'm not talking about marijuana here. It seems to be very, very harmless. But if you own nothing else on this planet, you at least own your own mouth, lungs, and brain, and everything else that comes along with your body. And libertarians are dead set against politicians like Hickenlooper and every other governor, or almost every other governor and politician for that matter, who wants to claim some ownership over what you can do with your mouth, lungs, and brain. It is disturbing, creepy, and goes against any concept of self-ownership. That's all for now. Thanks.